Order, Madam Speaker.
Good morning, honorable members. May we take this opportunity for a silent prayer or meditation. Amen.
Amen.
Honorable members, you are welcome to this sitting. We will now go to item number 2 on the order paper, which is announcements. Honorable members, the first announcement is regarding the reason for the sitting today. Thank you for making yourselves available for today's special sitting. The Office of the Speaker was advised to call a special sitting to comply with the National Council of Provinces processes and to enable the Legislature to participate in the mandate required in the NCOP. Today's special meeting is being held to deal with the conferral of a final mandate on the following bills: Division of Revenue Amendment Bill B33 2023, National Land Transport Amendment Bill B7F 2016, National Road Traffic Amendment Bill B7D 2020, and the KwaZulu-Natal Scrutiny of Subordinate Legislation Bill 2023. I trust that members will find this to be in order. Honorable members, you are also reminded that this is a special sitting with members having all connected virtually, and the sitting will be still conducted in terms of our standing rules. In regard to party voting, Rule 288.4 of the rule states that the presiding officer or chairperson must, before or at the start of the discussion on the matter, expressly inform members if a party vote will be taken. In line with the above, I confirm that voting will take place on the division of Revenue Amendment Bill B33/2023, National Land Transport Amendment Bill B7F 2016, National Road Traffic Amendment Bill B7D 2020, and the KwaZulu-Natal Scrutiny of Subordinate Legislation Bill 2023. I also wish to remind you, honorable members, that a party vote is a collective vote on behalf of all the members of a party present at a virtual sitting, up to the total membership of the party in the sitting. I will, however, allow an opportunity for any individual member to vote differently from his or her party or to abstain if any member wishes to do so. We will now proceed with the rest of the items on the order paper. And in proceeding, we'll start with the apologies. Honorable members, the first apology is from the Honorable Mr. R. Tim Tembu, Deputy Speaker of the KwaZulu-Natal Legislature, who is out of the country from yesterday until the 30th, attending a seminar on capacity building for members of the Zambian Parliament. Honorable Mr. S. Nkosi, MEC for Public and Settlement, will leave early, as he will be handing over title deeds in Clydesdale, Umzimkhulu, as part of Title Deeds Tuesday. This event was organized by the National Department of Human Settlements in line with a MINMEC resolution that the department should hand over the deeds every week. The Honorable Mrs. Esther Rajbansi is out of the country. The Honorable Mr. M.E. Phakathi is in East London preparing for the launch of the ATM manifesto. And the Honorable Mr. S.E. Manqele is unwell, and we send him our best wishes for a speedy recovery. The Honorable Mrs. N.M. Khoza, MEC for Social Development, who is also still at home following the bereavement, the family bereavement. Then we will move to item number 3, announcements or reports by the Premier, which is item number 3 on the order paper. Honorable Premier.
Thank you very much. Oops. My apologies, Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. My apologies for that. I'm just changing gadgets. The signal is bad where I'm seated. I wish to make the following announcement, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members. We wish to indicate that the Operation Sukumasake for the month of November is going to be held at Herigwala District Municipality on the 29th of November. This Operation Sukumasake is a model where government goes to the people to make sure that we do an oversight on the service delivery of government departments as well as government as a whole. All the provinces MEC will be deployed in the various wards where they will
Honorable Premier, if maybe you can switch off your video to try and save
and respond to the concerns of the other yes, okay, Honorable Speaker. The other announcement, Honorable Speaker, is that we wish to applaud and appreciate His Excellency the President of the Republic of South Africa for officially opening the Dr. Pliksiga Isaga Seme Hospital on the 24th of November, as well as the state-of-the-art 500 hospital bed that serves a greater population of Durban, but also in the Durban North. During the opening, the President unveiled a towering Seme, Dr. Pliksiga Isaga Seme statue that befits his status and was honored by the President of the family as well as all other members of the community. The President further visited on his oversight role the harbour of the Richards Bay to discuss the issues of the port, to show that as a president of the country, he is concerned, but also he's on top of the work that is expected to be done by government in resolving the issue of congestion in the ports of Richards Bay as well as the ports of Durban. We are glad to report that the following meeting on the congestion of the port will be the thing of the past. Following his meeting, the congestion will be the thing of the past. And we will ensure that we support the department as well as the Transnet in resolving this problem. This will dramatically also include the reduction of the backlog of congestion of the truck in the N2 highway. Thank you, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Premier. We will now move on to tabling of reports or papers, which is item 4 on the order paper. The first tabling is by the Portfolio Committee on Premier that tables their report on the KwaZulu-Natal Scrutiny of Subordinate Legislation Bill in terms of Rule 223 of the Standing Rules. Honorable members, is there any other member who wants to make a tabling that has not been captured here? Is there any tabling that has not been captured here, honorable members? Okay, we will move for now. Yes.
Speaker, Finance will also be tabling their own report as well. Thank you, Speaker.
Is the face visible of the member speaking? I can't even make out his voice. I don't understand whose voice was it, honorable member. Oh,
good morning, Honorable Speaker. It's Honorable Kulu. Finance will also be tabling their report as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chairperson of the Finance Committee. Any other person who wants to table will be indulged as of when they realize. We will move on to item number 5, which is formal motions or notices by the Chief Whip. Honorable Chief Whip.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Premier, the Leader of Government Business, all members. From my side, I must indicate that, Honorable Speaker, there are no formal motions or notices from the Office of the Chief Whip. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chief Whip. We will now move to the orders of the day, which is item number 6 of the order paper. And the first one will be the debate and voting on the conferral of a final mandate on the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill B33/2023. And as a result of that, I will call upon the Honorable TV Kulu, the Chairperson of the Finance Portfolio Committee, to table the committee report on the bill for 5 minutes. Papash.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Honorable members, our Executive President, our Premier. Honorable members, this is the report of the Finance Portfolio Committee on the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill. The Division of Revenue Amendment Bill B33 of 2023. The bill was passed by the National Assembly and transmitted for concurrence by the National Council of Provinces on the 22nd of November 2023. All the Provincial Finance Portfolio Committees were invited by the Select Committee on Appropriations of the NCOP to attend a visual briefing on the bill by the National Treasurer on the 16th November 2023. This committee further received a special briefing on the bill by National Treasurer on the 23rd November 2023. In accordance with Section 118 of 1A of the Constitution, the committee must facilitate public involvement in the legislative process accordingly. The bill and related briefing documents were placed on the legislature's website together with a notice calling for a written submissions on the bill. The briefing on the bill by National Treasurer on the 23rd of November 2023 was also live streamed on the Finance Portfolio Committee's Facebook and YouTube pages, as well as its Twitter feed. thereby promoting public access and involvement in the bill. The committee received no written comments or submissions from the public by the closing date for such comments. The NCOP dates for the negotiating and final mandates on the bill are the 27th and 28th of November 2023, respectively. On the 27th of November 2023, the NCOP Select Committee on Appropriations met to consider the provincial negotiating mandate. No amendments to the bill emanated from that meeting. The Finance Portfolio Committee met on the 23rd of November 2023 to consider the negotiating mandate. One of the honorable members indicated that his political party mandated that he not support the bill in its current form. That was the TA. The majority of the committee, however, agreed to confer a negotiating mandate to the NCOP in support of the bill. B, recommend to the House, should there be no amendments arising from the NCOP meeting to consider negotiating mandates, that the House adopted the report of the Finance Portfolio Committee in respect of the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, which is B33 of 2023. Confers authority on the head of provincial delegation to the NCOP or a delegate designated by the head of the delegation to cast a vote in favor of the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill B33 of 2023 as a final mandate at the NCOP plenary. Ngiyabonga kakhulu Somlomo and honorable members.
Thank you, Honorable Kulu. Now we will call upon the Honorable T.S. Mchali to speak for 7 minutes on behalf of the ANC.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to honorable members. May I plead with you, Speaker, because of the network challenges we currently facing this side, that I just open the video and then proceed.
Do show the face, Honorable T.S. Mchali.
Greetings, Speaker.
The video, switch on the video, Honorable Mchali.
It's switch on, Speaker. It's showing on my side, Honorable Speaker.
I don't know. We are not sure. It's not showing on this side, but I will ask the IT to look at it.
Okay, I'll keep it open, and I'll leave it like this while the IT is working on it, Honorable Speaker.
Okay.
The 2019 ANC manifesto, it stated, and I quote, "We are building a capable developmental state that has improved the lives of millions of our people. Few countries in the world have succeeded in expanding vital services such as water, sanitation, electricity, roads, and housing to so many people in such a short period of time," close quote. I am reflecting on this, Honorable Speaker, because we could have not been able to achieve these without the work of local government, which has a very critical role to play. It is on this basis that under the ANC-led government, we have continued to allocate sufficient funding for local government to ensure that it fulfills its mandate. You will note, therefore, Honorable Speaker, that on this bill, there are a few changes that also affect the local government. Now, allow me to reflect on some of those changes. Honorable Speaker, according to this amendment bill, an amount of 1.2 billion has been added to Municipal Disaster Recovery Grant to fund the repair of infrastructure that was damaged by the floods that occurred during the period of February and March 2023. This must be applauded as it will help to rebuild the infrastructure, which we know that this goes directly to service delivery to our people. Furthermore, Honorable Speaker, an amount of 372 million is added as well to the Municipal Disaster Response Grant. This is done in order to replenish the depleted grant baseline on the basis of the floods, Honorable Speaker. It must also be noted, Honorable Speaker, that with regards to the convictions that have been made under this DORA bill, an amount of about 10 million from Utugela Local Municipality Municipal Infrastructure Grant, which is MIC, has been allocated and is converted to an indirect allocation of Eguvugeni Water Supply Project. However, we must monitor this, in particular in Otugela. We know that how they strive on corruption in terms of the recent activities that have occurred. Therefore, COGTA and the Portfolio Committee of COGTA should pay close attention into the implementation of this, because this should be directed to Eguvugeni Water Supply Project, which must assist the people of Eguvugeni. Therefore, it will be very critical for us to monitor this. Honorable Speaker, it is also worth noting that an amount of about 88 million is shifted to the indirect component to expedite project implementation in municipalities that are experiencing administrative and financial challenges. So when we go and visit, or when COGTA intervene in some of these municipalities, it is because it's able to, in times like this, to indicate where are the challenges and where do they need financial assistance in dealing with these such matters. What is more critical, Honorable Speaker, which must be noted from this bill, is that all the adjustments that have been made or that have been done, Honorable Speaker, no reduction to the local government equitable share has been made. We repeat again, no reduction that has been made in terms of the local government equitable share. This goes a long way as they will continue to be able to implement service delivery to our people, but also to ensure that our people get the necessary services. Despite the challenges in terms of our fiscal, Honorable Speaker, the ANC-led government has been able to ensure that it deal directly with the issues of local government municipalities, so that not a lot of money that has been taken away from them, while we're still trying to assist them to get out of the administrative and the financial challenges that they are facing in terms of fulfilling the project, but also in terms of ensuring that they provide service delivery to our people. It is based on this that the ANC is supporting this DORA bill. Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
Honorable Mchali. Honorable Mchali, TS.
Honorable Speaker.
Can you look at the shutter in your camera so that we see that it's you? IT thinks that you might have your shutter closed, camera shutter closed. Yes, Honorable Mchali. Next time, do open the camera shutter. I will pardon those that are my age and above, but I won't pardon you next time it happens. Now I call upon the Honorable LD de Klerk for 5 minutes on behalf of the IFP. Honorable de Klerk.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As we approach the year end, we once again find ourselves in a challenging period of determining the funds allocated by the national government through the Division of Revenue Bill. The Inkatha Freedom Party advocates a federal system empowering provinces to shape their own destinies. Unfortunately, our current centralized system leaves us at the mercy of the national government. Ideally, the Division of Revenue process should allocate more funds to provinces and municipalities to implement government policies and aid those in need. Regrettably, due to the Republic of South Africa's low growth rate and inefficient policies by the ANC, our financial situation is strained, leading to reduced funds for the province. While the equitable share for the province remains unaffected, there's a significant impact on conditional grants from national government, which have been cut to address fiscal pressures. This reduction in grants adversely affects the people of South Africa, as there is less funding available for essential services. It is not only sad, but concerning and shocking for the students in our province that a reallocation in education, shifting funds from school infrastructure grant to use to burden of the burden of compensating teachers and other civil servants. It is taking place. Adding to the concerns, Treasury is solely assisting the unfunded mandates relating to salaries for civil servants within the provincial health and education department. So all other departments have to fend for themselves. Despite constitutional provisions emphasizing public participation and confirmed by the Constitutional Court, such engagements has been lacking in the formalization of these bills, directly impacting our citizens. Although presenting this bill for public vote would likely have resulted in non-approval, we find ourselves compelled to support it to secure at least some financial assistance for our province. What is clear is that the country has run out of money. And who do we need to thank for this? We all know the answer, the African National Congress. Thank you.
The next member for 4 minutes on behalf of the DA is the Honorable F.A. Rogers.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I trust you can see me. Madam Speaker, the Democratic Alliance does not support the 2024 Division of Revenue. The reason behind this is simply twofold. Firstly, the province has now been burdened with an unfunded mandate relating to the wage negotiations, a process which the province and ourselves played absolutely no part. Yet our budgeted wage increase falls far short of the final negotiated increase, which now compounds the fiscal constraints facing our province. National Treasury tried to pull the wool over our eyes by stating that they will contribute 3.7 billion rand to assist of the funding of the shortfall in the wage agreement. The reality is that National Treasury is only funding 2.5 billion of the 3.7 billion rand. Here's the added blow to our province. 1.2 billion rand has been cut from our conditional grants to fund the wage agreement. Those most affected are the Department of Education with 315 million, the Department of Health with 365 million, and Human Settlements, which comes in with a whopping 423 million rand. Talk about robbing Peter to pay Paul. Those critical areas that have been cut are the Education Infrastructure Grant, the Health Facility Revitalization Grant, and the Human Settlements Development Grant, and the Informal Settlements Grant. All of these cuts will have a further negative impact on our already failing infrastructure. The following departments, Madam Speaker, have been left out in the cold, and they face wage agreements of the following. And this comes into response to questions that I posed to the department. Department of Agriculture faces a shortfall of 80 million rand. Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs faces a shortfall of 34.5 million rand. The Department of Health, even though it got only 78%, still faces a 2.18 billion rand deficit. And already the department is saying this will have to be shifted to the 2024-25 as an accrual. Human Settlements, Public Works, a shortfall of 26.4 million rand. DSD, a shortfall of 97 million rand. And budget cuts to this department have resulted in the negative growth in the budget of 130 million rand. The department has sent additional requests to Treasury for support. Department of Education faces another crisis, 3.6 billion rand shortfall to fund the wage agreement, after taking into account what National Treasury gave us. And Arts and Culture sit with 23.1 million rand shortfall, and the Department of Transport 41 million rand. These are hard figures, and these figures tell us that we're going to be moving into a position in this province that we've never experienced before. And why should we do it at the expense of National Treasury? Parties in this province should stand up for the people of this province and demand that National Treasury give this province what it's due. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. The next member for 3 minutes is the Honorable N.N. Ngubane on behalf of the EFF. Honorable Ngubane. Honorable Ngubane. Is Honorable Ngubane in the house? Honorable Ngubane is not in the house. Now we will go to the next member, and therefore he falls away. Honorable Ngubane falls away because he's not in the house. The next member is Honorable C.M. Shinga for 1 minute on behalf of the NFP. Honorable Cynthia.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members. It is pleasing to note that an amount of 17.6 billion is added to the provincial equitable share to fund the cost of implementing the 2023-2024 wage agreement in the health and education sectors. This change is shown in Schedule 2 of the bill. However, we are not thrilled about the 3.3 billion downward revision of the gross allocation to local government for the 2023-2024 financial year. The National Treasury should note the financial impact of power outages and consider compensating municipalities for unplanned costs connected to the energy crisis. Honorable Speaker, we then welcome the extension of the 350 social relief of distress grant.
Honorable Shinga.
Thank you.
The next member was supposed to be Honorable Thakur Rajbansi, who's not in the house, and I did not get an instruction that the speech is with any member. So we will go to Honorable M.E. Phakathi, who's also not in the house, and we did not get any notice that there is a member with the speech, unless there is. So he will fall off. Then the next member is Honorable S.E. Manqele. On behalf of the ACDP, I also am not aware. Then we will go to Honorable M.A. Zulu on behalf of the ANC for 7 minutes, the Deputy Chairperson of Committees.
Mhlonishwa somlomo amalunga ahloniphekile esishayamthetho. Ngizocela uqala i-debate yami ngokuhalelisela abantu bakwaZulu-Natal ngohambo noma ngokhenketho lukaMengameli obeli kuma-district ahlukeneyo lapho uMengameli ebezobona khona umsebenzi omuhle owenziwa ukhongolose kubantu bakithi esifundazweni saKwaZulu-Natal. Uqale lapha ngokuvula isibhedlela iPixley kaSeme, wadlula lapho ukhenkethweni lwakhe wabheka emzimkhulu lapho khona abona umsebenzi omuhle, amanzi angena emzini yabantu. Wagugula wabheka le enyakatho emkhanya kude lapho nakhona afika abona khona umsebenzi omuhle osuwenziwe ukhongolose ukulethela idingo zabantu amanzi. Yona ke izathu ke lesi esizama ukuphendula kwi-incwadi eyayibhalwe abeze human rights, abaka-human rights ababe-complaina ukuthi ukhongolosa akawalethi noma uhulumeni wakwaZulu ubonakala engabasiza abantu bakwaZulu-Natal ekutholeni amanzi. Uyazama ukukhongolosa ngayo yonke indlela ukuletha idingo eduzane nabantu. Mhlonishwa somlomo, mkhulu umsebenzi osuwenziwe kakhulu uhulumeni wesifundazwe saKwaZulu-Natal sola 2004 athathe isifundazwe esasiphethwe ontaba kayikhonjwa. Kwakumele ke silungise izinto eziningi eziyingqalasizinda ezindaweni ezahlukeneyo zabantu abamnyama. Sakhe ingqalasizinda lena ekumele ke abantu ibasondeze ekuthenini bathole iy'nsiza. Siyaqonda ke ukuthi emhlonishwa ukuthi abantu bebekumele bahambe amabanga amade ukuze bathole iy'nsiza zahulumeni njengamanje seyisondele kubantu. Mhlonishwa somlomo, uma singena kwisabelo mali esigazethwe umgcini mafa noma singeke safeza ke idingo zomnyango yonke kahulumeni kodwa ke kumele sisamukele ngenxa yencindezi ebonakalayo yokudunguzela komnotho emhlabeni wonke jikelele. Siyaqonda futhi ke kunezibonelelo ezincishisiwe kweminye iminyango kahulumeni emkhulu. Kodwa ke sibonge kakhulu ngesamba esinikezwe iminyango emibili okuyezempilo newezemfundo ukuze kwazi ukuqinisekisa ukuthi imiholo yabasebenzi iyatholakala. Asekuqinisekise ke mhlonishwa ke somlomo ukuthi iminyango emibili okuyena ebonelelwe kakhulu ukubhekelela izinqinamba zenqala zamaholo abasebenzi. Yebo ayenele ngoba igcine ifika ku-78%, okuwukuthi iminyango kumele izame ukuthola i-difference ukuze ikwazi ukuhlangabezana nemiholo yabasebenzi. Kodwa ke sibonge kakhulu somlomo ukuthi imali eye-roll over ka-137 million umnyango wezemfundo owayeyicelile ukuthi ibe roll over ikwazile ukuthi ikwazi ukubuya ukuze bakwazi ukuqhubeka nemisebenzi yenqalasizinda ngoba le mali yayisivele isikhomitshiwe. Siyabonga kakhulu ke ukuthi lo 3.77 billion rand onikezwe leminyango emibili oku 2.305 billion wezemfundo no 1.47 billion wezempilo uzokwazi ke ukusiza leminyango ukuze ikwazi ukusebenza. Siyabonga imizamo kahulumeni ukuthi sonke ke kumele sibophe isifociya ukuze sikwazi ukumelana nezidingo zonke ezikhona kwiminyango yethu kahulumeni. Okuhle ke ngomgcini mafa ube nayo imhlangano emihle neminyango le kahulumeni lapha agcine ethatha khona ezinye ingxenye zemali ukuze ukwazi ukubalansiswa lapha ukubona khona ukuthi kuyaxeka. Esizocela ke ukuthi ezokuphepha noma umphakathi yonke ibambisane nohulumeni ikakhulukazi ezikoleni zakithi lapho sifake khona inqathela ezokuxhumana noma ezetechnology ukuze izingane zethu zifunde kahle. Kodwa into esiyibonayo njengamanje sibona izigelekeqe noma izigilamkhuba zingena ey'koleni zithatha zonke lezi zinto esibona ukuthi ngabe ziyasiza. Asazi noma kuyi-sabotage kukucekela phansi uhulumeni noma kukucekela phansi ukhongolose imisebenzi yakhe emihle aseyenzile. Ngakho-ke sizocela ukuthi ngazo zonke iy'khathi imiphakathi ibambisane nayo amaphoyisa ekutholeleni iy'xazululo kulezi nkinga. Sengiphetha-ke somlomo okuhle kakhulu ngeminyango kahulumeni ikakhulukazi esifundazweni ukuthi kwazile ukuqoqa imali engaphezulu kuka-154 million. 154 million which is oku-120.2%. Sibonga kakhulu umnyango wa transport okuyewona ohamba phambili ekuthenini uqoqe kahle imali ulandele umnyango wa-Asia kuze u-treasury kanjalo kwehle kuya phansi okuyimisebenzi emihle somlomo esithi ukhongolose akaqhubeke ahole isifundazwe ngobuqotho njengoba enza. Asibonge kakhulu, siyamukela isabelo mali esinikezwe uhulumeni ka-national. Thank you.
Awusiyabonga Khongolose.
Thank you, honorable members. We will now call upon the Honorable TV Xulu, the chairperson of the Finance Committee, to give a response to the debate for 5 minutes. Honorable Xulu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you to honorable members who have debated in this debate. And Speaker, we must accept the challenges that is facing our country. It is not just our country on issues of finance. It is a national issue, international issue that we are also facing. But I think I must also appreciate from members who have debated from all other political parties with their input. I think it will assist the committee also to grow as a committee and all members as well participating in the committee. I don't want to falter any member on the committee. To Honorable Zulu, thank you for your input and all other honorable members who have debated. We really appreciate your engagement. Ngibonga kakhulu, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. We have now come to the end of the debate on the conferral of a final mandate on the division of Revenue Amendment Bill B33 2023. The House now needs to vote on the final mandate. As per the recommendation of the Portfolio Committee on Finance, I now put the question to the House as follows. The KwaZulu-Natal Legislature agrees to confer a final mandate on 1. The KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Delegation to the National Council of Provinces to vote in support of the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill B33 2023 at the relevant NCOP Select Committee. And 2, the head of the provincial delegation to the NCOP or a delegate designated by the head of the delegation to cast a vote in favor of the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill B33 2023 excuse me, at the NCOP plenary. As I indicated prior to the start of the debate, I will now go party by party to obtain the vote and thereafter check if any member wishes to record an individual vote. Honorable members and party whips are reminded that at this time, no member will be accepted into the sitting. We will start with the IFP.
Honorable Speaker, the
Yes,
IFP supports the division.
The DA.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Democratic Alliance does not support DORA.
The EFF.
None.
The EFF. Ushukuthi khona wakwa EFF. Khona umhlonishwa EFF akhona in the house. There were no apologies.
Greetings, Corona.
Yes.
Oh, okay, no. Greetings, Honorable Speaker, Honorable members.
So the place, honorable member, so that we know who's speaking.
It's Honorable Harrix. The EFF supports the bill.
The NFP.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, we will vote to support the DORA. Thank you.
The MF is not in the house. The ACDP, not in the house. The ATM is not in the house. And I know that there's no proxy voting in our rules. Then we'll move to the ANC.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. The African National Congress supported the DORA bill. Thank you.
Honorable members, I have the votes of all parties. Is there any member who wishes to express an individual vote that is different from their party vote or to abstain? Is there any member? Honorable members, is there anyone? If there is none, Secretary, can I please ask for the tally of the votes?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Votes in favor 50, votes against 9, abstentions no. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Honorable members, I therefore formally declare the result of the vote as follows. Votes in favor 50, votes against is 9, and abstentions are nil. The ayes have it. That concludes voting on the conferral of a final mandate on the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill B33 2023. And that puts the item on the order paper concerning the conferral of a final mandate on the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill B33 2023 as concluded. We will now move to the next item, honorable members. The next item, which is the debate and voting on the conferral of the final mandate on the National Land Transport Amendment Bill, B7F 2016. Honorable members, I must say in the meeting that honorable members that were waiting in the lobby, now that we're done with voting, will be accepted back into the House. We will start with the report by the chairperson of the Transport Portfolio Committee on the National Land Transport Amendment Bill B7F 2016, Honorable E.V. Dube, for 5 minutes, Bishop.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu Somlomo. Honorable Speaker, the National Council of Provinces has tagged the bill as Section 76 in terms of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. The National Land Transport Amendment Bill proposed amendments to Clause 7 and acknowledge that there are capacity challenges in various municipalities. The National and Provincial Department of Transport will support the municipalities to have the necessary capacity to undertake the contracting functions and provides that is provided in the bill. The consultations were made, Honorable Speaker. The Portfolio Committee convened a couple of meetings, of hearings in Ugu, Herigwala, eThekwini, Ilembe, Umgungundlovu, Zululand District, King Cetshwayo, Umkhanyakude, Uthukela Majuba, Umzinyathi District. The public hearings were advertised from the 5th of May to the 23rd. From the 5th of May to the 12th of May. On the legislature website, also on Amajuba Yetu, Isolezwe, Ilanga, Mercury, Zululand Observer, Natal Witness, South Coast Herald, Stenger Weekly. Eventually, 7 public hearings were held at Mkhanyakude, Emachibini, at Belgrade, Pogola, Amajuba, Uthukela, Umzinyathi, eThekwini, Kokstad, eThekwini, Ilembe, and Umgungundlovu District. All these public hearings were fully supported. The proceedings went very well and satisfactory. As I say, Honorable Speaker, they were attended by all relevant stakeholders and the members of the public. The stakeholders who were present during the hearings were requested to make their written submissions to the KZN Legislature before the 30th of June. The transport bill, to present whatever they wanted to present. What was good is that Amajuba traditional leaders also asked that we come to present the bill to them, and the meeting was convened on the 26th of September in Newcastle Hall. On the discussion, on the 27th of November, the Portfolio Committee convened a special meeting to deliberate on the NCOP selected committee, agreed amendments to the National Land Transport Amendment Bill, and voted for the final mandate to the National Council of Provinces. Adoption of the final bill, African National Congress supported, IFP, Inkatha Freedom Party supported, Democratic Alliance supported, Economic Freedom Fighters supported, minority parties supported. The majority of members of the Portfolio Committee decided to vote in support of this National Land Transport Amendment Bill. Honorable Speaker, the Portfolio Committee recommended the Legislature must confer the authority, the KZN Provincial Delegation to the NCOP to vote in support of the National Land Transport Amendment Bill and the relevant NCOP Select Committee. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This is the report of the Transport Portfolio Committee final mandate on the National Land Transport Bill B7F/2016. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. We will now call upon the Honorable MPP Zungu for 7 minutes on behalf of the ANC. Honorable Zungu. Honorable Zungu, you have to unmute your gadget and also press the camera. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
The
I'm not
camera.
so sure whether it's on my side.
Check at the shutter at the back of your gadget to see if it's not closed off.
Ulelo gogo.
Angilele. Angiyazi ke naneshatha wesisi. Angiveli namanje.
Now you will not be visible until you ensure that the shutter at the back of your gadget is on. And I'm worried about your time, Honorable Zoom. If you can continue and try the shutter when you finish, because I'm worried about your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Somlom. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Premier, Honorable Chief Whip, members of the Executive Council present, and all honorable members of this August House. Somlomo, the chairperson has already provided a very comprehensive overview of the National Land Transport Amendment Bill in accordance with the National Department of Transport's vision, which states, I quote, transport, the heartbeat of South Africa's economic growth and social development, close quote. Similarly, it is in its mission, it states that it aims to establish a framework of sustainable policies, rules, and workable models to support government strategies for economic, social, and international growth, indicating that it must take a lead in developing integrated efficient transport system. The National Land Transport Act gives provincial government the authority plan to coordinate and facilitate land transport operation within their borders, as well as to develop provincial transport policies and strategies within the framework of national policies and strategies. In this regard, Somlomo, we are pleased that the department is taking advantage and is presently assessing strategies to revitalize rail and fulfill its function as the foundation of an integrated transportation network. Honorable Speaker, the most important aspect of the amendment bill is that it will empower and increase the minister's authority to enact rules and safety measures to establish standards and prerequisites for municipalities to sign contracts for public transport services. Today, the transportation-related laws to comply with the Act to explain or simplify specific provisions to address issues that have come to since the Act's implementation, and lastly, make the provision for associated matters. Abangene kakhulu ebhizinisini lezokuthutha. Therefore, this clause 7, will assign powers to municipalities in order to enter into contract with bus operators that would assist municipalities to develop the required skills and capacity to deal with contracts for bus operators. All municipalities will have to employ personnel and require skills and capacity to deal efficiently with challenges, resulting in sending powers back to the municipalities to contract with bus operators. All transport challenges experienced will be resolved within speed locally by municipalities, because siyazi ukuthi iyona a court face of government, and will have developed local capabilities. Amathuba ke emsebenzi kusho ukuthi azoba maningi, kuzoba khona ukuthi umnotho unyuke mangabe kunjalo. The provincial government will continue with its responsibility of ensuring that it deals with the issues as pertain to what is dictated to them to do. Undoubtedly, the African National Congress-led government has made unmatched historical progress in improving South Africa's lives. Hence, this was an appropriate period to review the current legislative and constitutional framework concerning governance to see if it can still be used to further the goals of development within the unitary state, SCBON. Keeping in mind that the development state needs to be constructed with a strong core institution capable of driving development. While we support economic recovery and renewed development, our current focus is on repairing the infrastructure to a safe and accessible level, allowing us to restore access to communities in the main, since we truly believe creating road safety is not what makes community. It is with the community that you engage in road safety. Umsebenzi wethu sonke ke Somlomo ukuthi siqinisekise ukuthi ezokuphepha emgwaqeni zihamba kahle noma zisesimeni izikhathi zonke. As a country founded on Ubuntu, the human spirit and consideration for others. We take great pride in our identity. Hence, it is not solely the responsibility of the government, business, taxes, or other individuals to maintain road safety. It is everyone's responsibility. As anticipated, there will always be irrational opponents who might be self-contradictory by nature. Angithi-ke siyayazi futhi siyaqonda ukuthi kujahwa noma umkhangana uyayihube kakhulukazi imoto ehambayo ayihubhi lona engamile. Siyazi-ke njengoba ebekile usihlalo ukuthi la kuthina ngokwekomiti sivumelene sonke ngo-elite singazivumeli nje kodwa-ke silandela lokho imiphakathi engejiwe ebekusho ngoba ngibalulile ukuthi izona ziphi izinto ababona yakha ama-job opportunities okuyilokho umbutho wabantu ozobophezele ukuthi kukwenza. So ngeke-ke sithuke uma ngabe sekuwukuthi uma kukhulunywa sekukhona ukuphikisana. Kodwa-ke le nkulumo ngxoxo esuke seba nayo isuke inkulumo ngxoxo esuke fanele iyakhe isizwe ngoba masikhethiwe sisonke la sisuke sikhethele ukuthi simele abantu and umbono omuhle owenziwe inhlangano ebusayo uqinisekisa ukuthi uyabuyekeza lo mthetho sivivinyo kwenza lokho sibe nethemba elikhulu futhi sigcaje mangabe sithola i-response positive from imiphakathi esihambelayo. Honorable Speaker, it is the revolutionary duty of the ANC to see to it that this bill is achieved. Therefore, we continue to be adamant that this bill has addressed every reasonable concern that is voiced by the community or the public. Ngiyabonga somlomo.
Do try and get your shutter off from your computer or gadget that you are using. I'm just appealing to all honorable members that do put to good use the IT workshops that we have all been attending in this institution. Now I will move to the next member for 5 minutes, Honorable S. Moodley, on behalf of the IFP.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker. Land Transport Amendment Bill B7F 2016. The National Land Transport Amendment Bill BF designed Principal Act and respond to changes since 2009.
Honorable Moodley, hold the time. Honorable Moodley, I think that your connectivity is a bit low, Honorable Member. May you switch off your video because we now know for certain that it's you to save the... You can continue, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The Principal Act thus gives powers to municipalities to enter into new contracts. It only allows provinces and national governments to continue with old order contracts assigned to municipalities. This provided challenges, example, in that municipalities lack capacity and disagreements occurred between provinces and municipalities.
Honorable Moodley.
One President Cyril Ramaphosa declined signing into law the National Land Transport Amendment Bill, which seeks to regulate land transport across and refer it back to. He raised concern that the bill usurps power of municipalities and give them to the national government and province. That goes against the Constitution. He said that while Section 11 of the existing National Land Transport Act law sets out the respective responsibilities of the three spheres of government, national, provincial. Regarding national land transport, Clause 7 of the new bill seeks to amend that section, and in doing so will statutory responsibilities of the three spheres. The referral back by the President regarding the unconstitutionality aspects in this bill may well have been avoided if the ruling party actually valued and engaged with opposition. It has been a bone of contention even in Parliament, where opposition parties in Parliament had raised these very and continue to do on other pieces of legislation. However, the ruling party, using its majority numbers, pushes its own agenda instead of listening to the views of opposition parties, the people of this country, and respect for our constitution. The IFP further and regulate electronic hailing services to enable operators to operate with an app, as well as empower the minister to prescribe requirements, standards applicable, and offences for the use of technology and applications. That this dispensation will ensure that we bring the much needed stability between the meter electronic hailing industry, which was characterized by uncertainty, conflict, and criminality. Finally, the IFP would like to raise to whether the government will actually be able to enact the objectives of this bill, given the serious challenges in the IFP supports. I thank you.
Honorable members and honorable whips, you are still reminded that it remains your responsibility to ensure that your members that are going to participate in a debate are in a position to do so unhindered by the connectivity. Or if that happens, find someone to read the speech of the member. We now move to the next member, the Honorable S. Hussein, for 4 minutes on behalf of the DA.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm just confirming if you can see me because I'm going to switch off my camera. The proposed amendments to the National Land Transport Act of 2000.
Honorable Hussein, show your face, because members who have connectivity issues notify us that they have connectivity issues and they're requesting to switch off the video, but you haven't. You just told us that you're going to switch off your video. We don't even know the reason for that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have told you the reason. I have load shedding on the side, Speaker, thanks to the MC.
Thank you, Honorable Hussein, but when we have to abide by the rules, there's no need for sarcasm and what you are doing by saying, I'm going to switch off my video. You can now switch off your video, Honorable Member, and continue with your debate.
Thank you, Speaker. The proposed amendments to the National Land Transport Act of 2009 aims to make several adjustments. This includes introducing new definitions and modifying existing ones. Additionally, the amendments aims to address non-motorized and accessible transportation, ensuring the Act aligns with developments that have occurred since its implementation. Furthermore, these amendments seek to grant provinces specific powers to engage in contracts for public transport services. The aim to broaden the minister's authority to enact regulation and implement safety measures. The intention is to align other transport-related legislation with the Act and simplify or clarify various provisions, resolving issues that have emerged since the Act's implementation. Ultimately, these amendments aim to streamline and update the National Land Transport Act, ensuring it remains relevant and effective in addressing contemporary transportation needs while addressing any related concerns or challenges. As with any bill, engaging the public in the process is crucial for legislators to hear diverse perspectives. It provides an avenue for people to express their views on the proposed legislation. Ideally, we would have preferred a robust debate, actively listening to public opinions on the bill, but more especially on the side from public transport operators and the public on accessibility or the lack thereof to transportation. Unfortunately, the coordination of public participation in these meetings was inadequate. In many instances, community members who were invited or transported to the meetings didn't contribute because the bill didn't directly address their core concerns. Therefore, Madam Speaker, I advocate for a more targeted approach in future. Emphasis should not solely be on filling the hall, but rather on coordinating efforts to bring in those directly impacted by the bill, enabling meaningful engagement in the discussions. It's crucial to ensure that those affected have the opportunity and ability to participate effectively. The DA supports the bill. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. We will now call upon the Honorable GF Mchali for 3 minutes on behalf of the EFF. Honorable Mchali.
Ngibingelela somlomo. Ngibingelela usekela somlomo ongqongqoshe womnyango wezokuthutha usihlalo wekomiti lomnyango namalunga esishayamthetho ahloniphekile. Siyiqembu le-EFF siyazamukela izinguquko ezenziwe kulo mthethosivivinyo owaziwa nge-National Land Transport Amendment Bill. Kulolu hlelo lokuthuthwa komphakathi olwaziwa phecelezi ngokuthi ama-Uber, ayikho imithetho eqinile eqinisekisa ukuthi abashayeli abaweli emizileni yabantu.
Honorable Mchali, it seems like you are also struggling with network. You can, to save it, also switch off your video. Honorable Mchali? You can switch off your video to save your network. You can switch off your video, Manjinga, to save your network.
Thank you, Speaker. Futhi akukho lapho kukhulunywa ngokuthi abashayeli kumele bahlolwe ukuthi awekho amacala obugebengu abake bawenza ngaphambili. Phecelezi vetting process ngaphambi kokunikwa amalayisense okusebenza. Phezu kwezingozi eziningi emigaqweni ezidalwa amaloli athutha impahla, akukho lapho kukhulunywa ngokuthi kumele athwale impahla engakanani. Futhi akukho lapho kukhulunywa khona ngoqeqesho okufanele bonke abashayeli bamaloli abahamba amabanga amade bacijwe ngalo ukuze kuncishiswe izingozi emigaqweni. Inkinga yezingozi ezidalwa amaloli athutha impahla emigwaqeni isihlukumeze kakhulu. Siyafisa ukuthi njengoba kubuyekezwa le bhili ngokuzayo kubhekwe kakhulu indaba yamaloli emigwaqeni, kuzanywe ukubuyiswa ukusebenza kwezitimela ukuze kunciphe izingozi. Ngiyabonga somlomo.
Yeah. The next member for 1 minute on behalf of the NFP is the Honorable CM Shinga. I'm so sorry, Ndelu.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members. As the bill seeks to amend the main act and respond to the developments that have occurred since 2009, among other things, the bill provides for the regulation of the electronic e-hailing services and the alteration of contracting arrangements. Given that capacity is an issue in some municipalities, the department and the province must guarantee that the essential provisions are enforced to ensure that municipalities have the requisite ability to carry out the contracting tasks outlined in the Act and the bill. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The next member was supposed to be Minority Front. They are not in the House. The ATM not in the House. ACDP not in the House. We'll now call upon the ANC for 7 minutes as represented by the Honorable Chief Whip J.S. Numalo.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Premier, Honorable Leader of Government Business, Honorable members of the Executive Council, Honorable members of the Provincial Legislature. Greetings. As a progressive movement, the African National Congress has always strived and continues to endeavor to create an organization and government that truly represent the interest of the people through public consultation and participation. Both the organization's unique democratic character as well as people-centered government, which prioritizes public participation, are a testimony to this. The public hearings which were conducted for Ugu District, Herigwala District, eThekwini Metro, Ilembe, Umgungundlovu, Zululand, King Cetshwayo, Umkhanyakude, Uthukela, Amajuba, and Umzinyathi District ensured that there is an effective public consultation and hearings to gather input from various stakeholders before any changes are effected. These consultations provided an opportunity for citizens, civil society organizations, and interest groups to express their opinions, raise concerns, and suggest improvement. Honorable Speaker, indeed, as it was alluded, the public hearings proceeded well and were satisfactory, attended by the relevant stakeholders and members of the public in all venues. The stakeholders present during the public hearings were also requested to make written submissions to the KZN Legislature before the 30th of June 2023. The Portfolio Committee further received a request from Amajuba traditional leadership to present these transport bills, and the request and the meetings was convened on the 26th of September 2023 at Newcastle Town Hall. Whilst this involvement continues to strengthen our democracy, but it was also promote transparency and foster a sense of ownership among citizens. Wayithi-ke somlomo ubaba ugwala izwi labantu liwuthixo abantu sebekhulumile. Honored members, as presented to our public in the various hearings conducted, this National Land Amendment Bill in South Africa is a significant piece of legislation aimed at improving the country's transportation system. The primary aim of this bill is to address the challenges and shortcomings of the existing land transport system in South Africa and seeks to achieve this through various objectives, including enhancing public transport system, as the bill aims to improve the quality and efficiency of the public transport services by promoting integrated planning and coordination. It seeks to provide accessible, safe, reliable, and affordable public transport options to all citizens. Promoting sustainable transportation is another key aim of the bill is to promote sustainable transportation practices. It emphasizes the development of environmentally friendly transport modes, such as cycling, walking, and the use of electric vehicles. By encouraging the shift towards sustainable transportation, the bill aims to reduce carbon emissions and alleviate congestions on the road in terms of climate change and also dealing with the issues of mitigation and adaptation. Strengthening the regulatory framework, as this amendment bill aims to strengthen the regulatory framework governing the land transport sector. It seeks to establish clear guidelines and standards for operators, drivers, and vehicles. These include implementing stricter licensing requirements and driver training programs and vehicle safety standards, and facilitating efficient planning and management, as the key aims of the bill is to improve planning and management of land transport system. It emphasizes the need for integrated transport planning at both national and local level. This includes the development of transport infrastructure, route planning, and scheduling to optimize the efficiency of transportation network. To achieve its aim, Honorable Speaker, the bill sets out several specific objectives, include integrated public transport system, such as integrating buses, taxis, trains, and non-motorized transport into a seamless and efficient network. It seeks to promote intermodal connectivity, making it easier for passengers to transfer between different modes of transport. The bill also sets to enhance the safety and security of passengers. As a key objective, it aims to establish stringent safety regulation and enforce traffic laws and improve the security measures in public transport vehicles and stations. These include the installation of surveillance cameras, emergency response systems, and the training of transport personnel in handling emergency situations. Furthermore, the bill aims to empower local authorities to play a more active role in managing and regulating land transport systems within their jurisdictions. It seeks to decentralize decision-making processes, allowing local authorities to tailor transport solutions to their specific needs and priorities. Honourable Speaker, in short, honourable members, this bill aims to address the challenges and shortcomings of the existing land transport system in order to significantly improve the transportation sector in our country. I thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much, honorable members. We will now call upon the chairperson of the Transport Portfolio Committee, Honorable Ivy Dube, to respond to the debate for 5 minutes.
Somlomo ohloniphekile, ngiyathanda ukulithatha leli thuba ngibonge kubo bonke ama contributions enziwe ama members kulendlu yakho ehloniphekile. I would like to remind the honorable members, also the community of KwaZulu-Natal, about the very important words. I quote the President of the Republic of South Africa, Matamela Ramaphosa, when he said, I want to be there when the people start to turn it around, when they triumph over poverty. I want to be there when the people win against the AIDS. I want to lend a hand. I want to be there for the alcoholic. I want to be there for the drug addict. I want to be there for the victims of violence and abuse. I want to lend a hand. Send me. Kusobala nje kuyacaca ukuthi kuyacaca kusobala nje ukuthi abantu bakwaZulu-Natal ngesikhathi sihambele kubona siyothatha imbono yabo ngale bill. Kwacaca ngokusobala ukuthi lamazwi kamongameli bawathatha bawagwinya ngoba bonke bebevumelana ngazwi linye ukuthi uANC wenza into enhle kakhulu ukuthi uthumele amalunga eshamthetho ukuthi azolalela izethulo zawo ukuthi bona bathini njengomphakathi. Into ke le ingakaze yenziwe inhlangano ezibusayo ezabusa kulelizwe. Ukhongolo sekuphela okwazi ukulalela abantu njengoba umongameli asithuma kuba siyobalalela. Yona nhlangano kuphela lokhongolose ekwazi ukuthi iye emphakathini ifike ikhumbuza abantu ukuthi umthetho sisekelo uyabanikela eliphelele
unjalo mfundisi
bezwe balalele ukuthi abantu bathini. Iyona kuphela inhlangano African National Congress okuyothi uma ngabe ibheka izindlela zokuphila abantu ihambe yobabuza ukuthi ifanele ukuthi le nhlangano ibenzeleni. U-African National Congress uzimisela ukuthi yenze imigaqo kaZulu-Natal iphephe abayisebenzisayo baphephe emgaqweni. Ingakho-ke njengenhlangano ebusayo kufanele ukuthi njalo makuphasisa umthetho siphindele siye kubantu. Honorable Zungu ukuchaze kahle lokho kwazwakala. Honorable Mudli naye futhi uthi bona njenge-opposition bayezwa futhi bayawubonisa ukhongolose ngoba bayazi ukuthi ayikho enye inqola abangayithuma ngaphandle kakhongolose. Kanjalo no-Honorable Mtshali, kanjalo no-Honorable Shinga, kanjalo no-Honorable Nxumalo, bonke sonke siyavumelana njengekomiti ukuthi ukhongolose ufanele ukunikezwe igunya namandla ukuthi uhambe uyozwa ukuthi umphakathi uthini ukuze siyilungiselele ukuthi noma ngabe sekhethiwe siyabuya senza lokho abantu abazokuthokozela.
Kunjalo mfundisi.
Njengoba siyinhlangano ebusayo sizoqiniseka ukuthi uma ngabe imithetho iphononongwa sihambe semphakathini. Siyawubonga kakhulu lo mthetho ngoba unikezela amandla nakomasipala, kodwa ke siyafisa ukusho ukuthi komasipala abangenzi kahle asekhona amandla kangqongqoshe ukuthi uma bengenzi kahle ekuthuthukiseni ezokuthuthwa kwabantu nomphakathi amandla ayothathwa asetshenziswe ungqongqoshe. Lokho kuchaza ngokusobala ukuthi asi-create i-banana republic kodwa senze isiqiniseko ukuthi abantu bayingxenyo yomthetho. Ingakho-ke ngivumelana nawe mhlonishwa uNxumalo mawuthi izwi labantu lisho ukuthi lizwi likaNkulunkulu, vox populi vox gratia. Siyabonga kakhulu thina njengokhongolose futhi siyancoma kakhulu ukuthi lo mthetho sisekelo bese uyaphasiswa. Ngiyabonga somlomo.
Ngole masondo so.
Siyabonga Nyamazane.
Awayibeka kahle Nyamazane.
Kanti uphasisa umthetho sisekelo futhi la.
Order. Order, honorable members. Thank you, honorable members. We have now come to the end of the debate on the National Land Transport Amendment Bill B7F 2016. The House now needs to confer a final and a voting mandate on the bill. As per the request of the Transport Portfolio Committee, I now put the question to the House. In terms of the rules of the sitting of the House by virtual means, when voting will be conducted per party, each party vote counting as the number of members of that party present at the virtual sitting, and we have stated that at the beginning. The KwaZulu-Natal Legislature agrees to confer authority on one, the KZN provincial delegation to the NCOP to cast a vote in support of the National Land Transport Amendment Bill B7F 2016 at the relevant NCOP Select Committee. And two, the head of the provincial delegation to the NCOP or a delegate so designated by the head of the delegation to cast a vote in support of the National Land Transport Amendment Bill B7F 2016 at the NCOP plenary. I will now go party by party, and I remind you again, you will be put in the lobby. Your members who will try to get in now are not being allowed because we are voting. They will be on the lobby. I will start with Inka Tayenkululeko.
Somlomo Tonpegile Nenzion, IFP, I support IPs.
Go to the Democratic Alliance.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Democratic Alliance supports.
Economic Freedom Fighters.
Honorable Speaker, the EFF here support.
National Freedom Party.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, we support the amendment.
The MF, ACDP, and ATM are not in the House. We will now go to the African National Congress.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. The ANC supported the bill. Thank you.
Members, I have the votes of all parties. Is there any member who wishes to express an individual vote that is different from their party vote or to abstain? Any member?
Bishop Dube.
Mpephethe ngibona uvula ofuna ukuhluka kwinkatha. Oh, okay.
Udube.
Seeing that there is none, Secretary, can I ask for the tally of the votes?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Those in support, 65. Those against, no, and no abstentions.
Honorable members, I therefore formally declare the result of the vote as follows. Votes in favor, 65. Against, nil, and abstentions, nil. Recorded that the mandate on the final land and transport amendment bill is supported. And that brings to the end the debate regarding to the National Land Transport Amendment Bill B7F 2016. And we will now move to the next item in the order paper, which is the debate on the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill B7D 2020. And I will call upon the Honorable E.V. Dube, the chairperson of the Transport Portfolio Committee, to give a committee report on the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill B7D 2020 for 5 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, the National Council of Provinces Bill has been tagged Section 76 in terms of Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. The National Road Traffic Amendments Bill seeks to insert new definitions and amend others, provide for the suspension and cancellation of the registration of an examiner for driving licenses or examiner of vehicles who are not qualified in the correct way. If such a person has been convicted of the offense listed as Schedule 1 or Schedule 2 of the Criminal Procedure Act 1977, or has a direct or indirect conflict interest. Consultation was made. On the 14th of April 2023, the Portfolio Committee convened a special virtual meeting to the briefing with the National Department of Transport in terms of Rule 260/1 of the standing rules. The Portfolio Committee resolved to cluster some of the districts together and to hold the 6 public hearings. Oku and Herikwala District, eThekwini Metro, Ilembe and Umgungundlovu District, Zululand District, Kings Ejwayo District, Umkhanyakude District, Uthukela, Amajuba, Umzinyathi. The public hearings were advertised from the 5th of May to the 12th of May 2023 on the KZN Legislature website, newspapers, Amajuba Eyetu, Isolezwe, Ilanga, the Mercury, Zululand Observer, the Natal Witness, South Coast Fever, Stenger Weekly. Eventually, 7 public hearings were held on the following dates. We went to Ematribini, Josino on the 12th of May, Zululand District, Belgrade Hall, Opongolo on the 16th of May, Amajuba, Uthukela Mzinyathi on the 23rd of May, Oku District, Kokstad Hall on the 26th of May, ending up with, we went to eThekwini, we ended up with Umkhumbane in eThekwini. The public hearings proceeded well and were satisfactorily attended by the relevant stakeholders and members of the public in all venues. The stakeholders present during the public hearings were requested to make written submissions on top of the submissions that they were making verbally on the day before, and they were supposed to submit them before the 30th of June 2023. The Portfolio Committee also received a request from Amajuba traditional leaders to do a presentation to them. And then on the 27th of November 2023, the Portfolio Committee convened a special meeting to deliberate on the NCOP Select Committee agreed amendments to the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill and vote on the final mandate to the National Council of Provinces. Adoption of the mandate, African National Congress supported, Inkatha Freedom Party supported, Democratic Alliance supported, Economic Freedom Fighters supported, minority parties supported. The majority members of the Portfolio Committee decided to vote in support of the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill. Honorable Speaker, the Portfolio Committee recommends that the Legislature must confer authority on the KZN Provincial Delegate to the NCOP to vote in support of the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill and at the relevant NCOP Select Committee, and the head of the provincial delegation of the NCOP or the delegate designated by the head of the delegation to vote in support of the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill. Thank you, Honourable Speaker. This is the report of the Transport Portfolio Committee, final mandate on the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. The next member now to start off the debate for 7 minutes on behalf of the ANC is the Honourable M.A. Chiliza. Dunge.
Bonge somlomo. Bingelele wena somlomo Premier kanye nendlu yonke. Ifisa nje somlomo ukuthatha leli thuba ukubonga nje ukhongolose ukuthi okwamanje kuseyiwo wodwa usakwazi ukuthi yebe amama usakwazi ukuthi uqhubeke ngendlela enentando yeningi ade bese enyangeni lokho kwenzeke ngisho nangaphakathi kuwona impela ukhongolose ezinhlakeni zawo. Siyakuncoma kakhulu lokho ngoba kugcina sekusiza ngisho nabo labo abaphikisayo impela bakwazi ukubenefita kule ntando yeningi kakhongolose. Somlomo, as a result of inclusivity being a fundamental aspect of our democratic progressive people's movement, the ANC has been responsible for developing and implementing legislation that promotes the well-being and interest of the citizens. One of the key ways in which the ANC ensures the public participation in the development of effective legislation is through the use of public hearings, as it was done in processing this bill. The public hearings have ensured that our government actions remain transparent, accountable, and responsible to the needs and aspirations of the people, in line with the commitments of the ANC. By involving the people in lawmaking, our progressive government continues to harness the collective wisdom of the citizens. As witnessed, Somlomo, these public hearings served as an important mechanism to gather feedback, gain insights, and understand the implications. As mentioned, Somlomo, the public hearings were indeed held from May in the different areas which Ustalo has mentioned. They were attended by relevant stakeholders and communities. Nokuthi-ke Somlomo okunye ukukhomba ngokusobala ukuthi ukhongolose ababambe iqhaza uyababhekela bonke. Uphinde futhi kwenzeka ukuthi ikomiti seliqedile baqhamuka isicelo esiphume emakhosini ukuthi cha nawo amakhosi ayafisa ukuthi akachazeleke ngalo mthetho. Ikomiti laphinda-ke emajuba leNewcastle ukuhlangana namakhosi wodwa nje abeka izimvo zawo, abone kubaluleke kakhulu ukuthi amakhosi athinteke ngoba imbono yawo yababehle kakhulu. Honorable members, the primary objective of this bill is to enhance road safety and improve traffic management in South Africa. It addresses key issues such as alcohol-related offences, driver behavior, while behavior, vehicle safety standards, and the regulation of public transport. This is achieved through stricter penalties for traffic violations, particularly those related to drunk driving, reckless driving, and speeding, by imposing higher fines, introducing demerit points. The bill aims to deter individuals from engaging in risky behavior on the roads. Another key objective of the bill is to regulate the public transport order effectively. Public sector effectively. It seeks to introduce measures to ensure that public transport vehicles adhere to the road safety standards and are properly maintained. This bill also aims dress.
Yeah,
Order, Honorable Zulu. Order, Honorable Amon Zulu. You may continue, Honorable Khaliza. Sorry about
related to training, licensing to enhance overall quality of public transport. National Road Traffic Amendment Bill places significant emphasis on combating alcohol-related offences. It proposes stricter regulations for alcohol testing, including mandatory breathalyzer test, and introduces severe penalties of individuals driving under influence. These measures aim to reduce the number of alcohol-related accidents and fatalities. Honorable members, this has been the potential significantly improve road safety and traffic management in South Africa. By imposing stricter penalties and introducing accountability measures, the bill aims to create a deterrent effect and reduce the number of traffic violations. It successfully implemented the bill has the potential to make significant strides in creating safer and more efficient road traffic in the systems in the country, in line with resolutions of the ANC. Konke-ke lokhu-ke bahlonishwa imisebenzi emihle kakhongolose lapho esuke ecabangela khona abantu. Ukhongolose-ke siyabona nathi sonke ukuthi nokho uyaqhuba. Somlomo sengizophetha.
Mase kuphela imetha vele nifaka ukhongolose.
Somlomo sengizophetha nje ngoba bangikhukuluza. Ngifisa nje ukubabaza into engiyibone kulesi edlulile ngale harding. Kufihlwa omunye wama-comrade ethu obesebenza umsakazweni ukhozi. Lapho ubone khona ukuthi makuphela uhle ubone khona umeya nositalo wesifunda ebhalwe njenganomuntu abesebenza naye ukuthi uzophumela abantu abesebenza nabo umsakazi. Ngazibuza ukuthi hawu.
Your time, honorable, your time.
Zobe ngiyifake le ndaba kulungile.
Ulayekile ngazo hayi ufuna ukuyifaka la.
Is Honorable S. Mutley of the IFP.
Yeah. Good morning, Speaker, honorable members. Debate.
Honorable Motley.
B7D 2020.
Honorable Motley, are you still struggling with connectivity? Is your connection fine now?
No, it's still not fine. We are on load shedding, ma'am.
You can switch off your camera, sir.
The National Road Traffic Amendment D 2020 seeks to amend the National Road Traffic Act so as to insert new definitions and to amend to provide for registration and grading of training centers and to further prohibit and reduce the limit in a specimen of blood taken from any part of the body. The IFP believes that it is important to recognize that policy and legislative interventions are meant to ensure a safe environment for all road users. Motorists and roads appreciate roads are a shared space that requires behavior that respects the rights of others. It is an undisputed that people of South Africa, like elsewhere in the world, depend heavily on a good transport system and good laws to govern the system. The best law, however, means nothing if it is not correctly implemented and enforced. Law by nature be amended as circumstances dictate, especially in context of rapid development. And among other things, proposals were submitted for implementing a 0% blood alcohol limit for drivers. To make road fees against drugs. This bill is designed to address a specific failing in our current legislation on drink driving. We all know that alcohol and drinking do not mix. Drink driving is one of the most serious causes of collisions, injuries on our roads. No one disputes that. There is also general agreement that the law must be firm on drunken driving. Take drunken driving seriously, and it must be seen to take it seriously. Drunk driving leads to reckless behavior on our, which often results in road fatalities. We are of the view that those guilty of drinking under the influence of alcohol for a long period, and where their behavior has resulted in a fatality, they should serve a life sentence. The current penalty to deter drunk. Remove drunk drivers from our roads is an important step in minimizing road carnage, and we cannot remain idle while our province's roads become killing fields. Instead, people must be educated to consume alcohol but we are concerned the competence of the drivers remains one of the most critical. This is escalated by corrupt practices found at driving schools and driving life testing centers. Thus, corruption must be addressed as a bill, an opportunity to address the challenges of corruption and persecute perpetrators. We support the closer scrutiny of the driving schools. Form standards are for to driving schools. The IFP believes that fly-by-night driving schools are eradicated and corruption driver's license is also eradicated. The IFP supports the bill. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The next speaker for 4 minutes on behalf of the DA is the Honorable S. Hussein. Honorable Hussein, if you're still having challenges after starting, you can switch off your video, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Appreciate that. So, Honourable Speaker, the goal of the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill, which has several key aspects. Firstly, it aims to refine definitions and update existing ones while establishing guidelines for suspending or revoking registration of driving license and vehicle examiners if they have been convicted of offences outlined in Schedule 1 and 2 of the Criminal Procedure Act of 1977. Additionally, the bill addresses conflicts of interest. Moreover, the bill delves into various other provisions. One is the registration and grading of training centres, or the registration of manufacturers, importers, and producers of number plates, reflective sheetings for plates, microdots, and related components, the requirements for provisional transport departments or local authorities to register driving license testing centres before they operate, appointment of inspectors overseeing various aspects such as manufacturers, importers, and facilities related to the number plates, microdots, and weighbridges. Furthermore, it emphasizes on the prohibition of intentional or negligent actions related to learners' licenses, endorsements, or unauthorized document creation as per the National Road Traffic Act of 1996. Ban on unauthorized aids during learners or driving license tests while associated with penalties, the establishment of registration and grading standards for driving school instructors and driving schools, the regulations concerning international driving permits, foreign licenses, and related permits. In essence, the bill covers a wide spectrum of areas within the realm of the road traffic regulations and compliance, aiming for comprehensive improvements and regulations. As with any bill, engaging in the public process is crucial for legislators to hear the diverse perspectives, and it provides an avenue for people to express their views on the proposed legislation. Like I said before, ideally, we would have preferred a robust debate, actively listening to public opinions on the bill, but unfortunately, the coordination of public participation in these meetings was inadequate, and in most instances, community members who were invited or transported to the meetings didn't contribute because the bill didn't directly address their core concerns. Therefore, Madam Speaker, once again, I advocate for a more targeted approach in future. Emphasis should not solely be on filling the hole, but rather on coordinating efforts in bringing those directly impacted on the bill, enabling meaningful engagement in discussions. It's crucial to ensure that those affected have the opportunity and ability to participate effectively. The DA supports the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker for 3 minutes on behalf of the EFF is the Honorable GF Mjali Shabanga.
Ngibonga Somlomo. Ngaphambi kokuba ngiqale le nkulumo mpikiswano, ngivumeleni ngidlulisa amazwi enduduzo emndenini wakwaMpunguzi nakwimboni yamaciko kulesi sifundazwe ngokushiya ngokuzuma yimbongi ebinekusasa eliqhakazile kulomkhakha uSicelo Mpunguzi oshone engozini yemonto enyentisayo ngaseLiberty Midland Mall ngesonto ekuseni. Ngithi dudu sengathi uNkulunkulu angabaqinisa abapha amandla ngalesi sikhathi esinzima. Malunga sishaya imithetho esihloniphekile. Ukuphelela kwabantu emgwaqeni yakuleli ikakhulukazi esifundazweni sethu sekuyicakavulela umchilo wesidwaba. Uma sibheka nje akusapheli nenyanga kungabanga khona isibhicongo sengozi emgwaqeni yethu. Lezi zingozi zibukeka zidlange kakhulu manje kumaloli, okuyiwona adla amagalane amanye angekho esimeni sokuba semgwaqeni, futhi amanye awo ashayelwa abashayeli abangayilandeli imithetho yomgwaqo. Si-Economic Freedom Fighters sithi kuyancomeka nokho kubuyekezwa kwalo mthethosivivinyo owaziwa nge-National Road Traffic Amendment Bill, ngoba kubuyisa ithemba lokuthi uMnyango Wezokuthutha uzama ngakho konke okusemandleni ukuqinisekisa ukuphepha emgwaqeni yethu. Sonke siyazi ukuthi imboni yezokuthutha yaziwa ngokunuka inkohlakalo phu. Kuyasijabulisa ukuthi kuzoncipha oqhibukhowa bezikole ezifundisa ukushayela njengoba kuzoqiniswa imithetho yokuthi kusetshenziswe lezi ezisemthethweni kuphela, ezirejistiwe nezaziwa uMnyango Wezokuthutha. Kodwa nakuba kunjalo, umbuzo uthi kuzoqinisekiswa kanjani lokhu njengoba sazi sonke ukuthi inkohlakalo eningi eyenzeka ezikhungweni zikahulumeni yenziwa yiziphathimandla. Umbuzo esinawo ukuthi lo mnyango uzokuvimba kanjani ukugwaziswa kwabanikazi bama-driving school azobe engekho emthethweni. Emva kokucubungula lo mthethosivivinya ochitshiyelwe, nakuba sihambisana nokuningi, asiboni kungadlala indima enkulu ekulweni nezingozi emgwaqeni yethu. Kuyasikhathaza ukuthi akusona isihlava esikhulu esidala izingozi emgwaqeni okuyizinkamba zikafaro. Namanje uMnyango Wezokuthutha usahlulekile ukuthi ukwenze kube semthethweni ukuthi labo abatholakala bedle inkamba zikafaro emgwaqeni bajeze futhi bashushiswe ngendlela efanele noma ngabe lingakanani iphesenti likatshwala egazini. Ngiyabonga Somlomo.
Thank you. The next member for 1 minute on behalf of the NFP is the Honorable CM Shinga.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, we understand that the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill aims to achieve proper implementation of the strategic interventions highlighted in road safety strategy whilst also addressing practical challenges. As the NFP, we highlight the need of ensuring that the bill would aid in the achievement of the road safety strategy's objectives. The NFP also takes notice of the anti-corruption measures recommended in the bill, such as the use of cameras to monitor incidents of corruption, such as examiners and traffic officers with a direct or indirect financial interest in traffic business. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The MF is not in the House, ATM not in the House, and ACDP not in the House. We'll now call upon the Honorable Ntombela for 7 minutes on behalf of the ANC. Honorable Ntombela.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and apologies if the list has not been changed. I am replacing Honorable Ntombela. I am Hlengwe Mabhibela, not Honorable Ntombela.
Honorable Ngumalo and Honorable Kaluza, do work on your replacement. I am not sure whether it was on the side of proceedings or where, because the order paper that I'm having is having Honorable Ntombela, but we allow Honorable Mavimbela, but do work on it, please, Honorable members. You may continue, Honorable Mavimbela.
Muhle Ntombela wanamhlanje.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and greetings to all honorable members in the House. Thanks so much, Honorable Speaker, for allowing me the space and opportunity to debate on behalf of the African National Congress. And also, we are thanking the African National Congress government, which allows the general public to be part of the policies that are envisaged to be part of the laws governing our country. I am raising this because us who were born during the apartheid government never had an opportunity to participate in formulation of the laws. They were just sent to the post office and never been debated like we are doing post-1994.
kazi singayaphi masingashiya ukhongolose inqole emasondo sondo ngoba wayengadlali uma ethi kumqulu wakhe wenkululeko abantu bayobusa, and let me quote, all people shall be entitled to take part in the administration of the country. Honorable Speaker, the road safety remains a significant concern to our government, particularly during this busy festive season due to the high number of accidents and fatalities that occurs. As progressive government, the ANC-led government continues to play a crucial role in implementing measures to improve road safety and reduce these accidents. One of the significant steps taken by the government of the National Road Traffic Act. This act aimed to regulate road traffic and promote safer driving behaviors. It introduced laws and regulations such as speed limits, seatbelt requirements, and breathalyzer tests to minimize road accidents. This act has a significant impact on road safety in South Africa. According to the study conducted in 2018 by Dr. Smith in evaluating effectiveness of the National Road Traffic Act in South Africa, the act has led to 20% reduction in road accidents and 15% decrease in road fatalities since its implementation. The ANC government has further invested heavily in the development and maintenance of roads across the country. These include the construction of new highways, bridges, and rehabilitation of existing infrastructure. Uma uhamba KwaZulu-Natal nje uyabona ukuthi uhamba esifundazweni esiholwa ukhongolose ngoba ave imihle imigwaqo eyakhiwe ulohulumeni wentando yeningi kunalesa khula siyibona yobhuqu ukuze singabi nezimoto sibe baningi kuleli zwe lakithi. Kodwa manje iningi lethu linezimoto ngoba imigwaqo mihle ivumela noma luphi uhlobo lwemoto ikwazi ukuhamba. The improvement of the infrastructure has not only enhanced road safety but also contributed to economic growth. According to the report by the Department of Transport, the development of road infrastructure has reduced travel time, improved connectivity, and facilitated the transportation of goods and services. This progressive government also recognized the importance of educating the public about road safety. They have implemented various educational initiatives and awareness campaigns to promote safer driving habits and increase awareness about road rules and regulation. The Department of Transport, in collaboration with non-governmental organizations, has conducted road safety workshops and campaigns in schools, communities, and workplaces. These initiatives have focused on educating individuals about the danger of reckless driving, the importance of wearing seatbelts, and consequence of driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. The MEC of Transport, Honorable Hlomuga, continue also to demonstrate how much the ANC-led government is committed to reducing reckless driving and ensuring road safety through prioritizing and enhancing law enforcement on the roads, as thousands of people have been employed and continue to be employed by the department. The South African Police Service has also increased the deployment of traffic officers, particularly during peak travel times and holidays. This continues to have a huge impact in the road accident and fatalities as reported by the Road Traffic Management Cooperative. Alive to the prevailing challenges, the ANC-led government has further made groundbreaking commitments to further enhance traffic management and promote responsible driving behavior. This is evidenced by what we see on the N3 from Maritzburg to Durban. These commitments, which are in line with the conference of the ANC resolution, aim to promote the lives of the road users and improve the overall traffic flow in the country. Implementing advanced traffic management system is one of such commitments. These include the use of intelligent transport system such as traffic signal optimization, real-time traffic monitoring, and automated enforcement system. These technologies can help in effectively managing traffic flow, reducing congestion, and improving overall road safety. By investing in this system, the government aims to enhance the efficiency of the traffic management and provide a safer environment for our road users. This amendment bill is also a product of such commitments in order to effectively address the challenges faced by road users. One of the significant highlights of this amendment bill is the introduction of the enhanced enforcement measures. These measures include stricter penalties for traffic violations such as speeding, reckless driving, and driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. By imposing more severe consequences for these offenses, the bill aims to deter individuals from engaging in risky behavior on the roads.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you, Honorable Mavimbela.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. ANC, we are a supporter in it.
The next speaker now will be the Honorable Chairperson of the Transport Portfolio Committee, Mr. Evie Dube, for 5 minutes to respond to the debate.
Thank you very much, Somlomo. Let me remind the House and honorable members on the opposition benches that the ANC carries a mandate from the electorate and therefore has a responsibility to ensure that the commitment it made to the electorate are fulfilled. ANC was voted and was trusted by the people of KwaZulu-Natal, disposing the IFP in 2004. Now, when they are saying to us, "Siyathanda njalo ukufaka ukhongolose," we are sent by the organization here. We are not like them. Abakhonjwa ngomune kuthiwa hambe eParliament. For us, it's a major responsibility ukuthi senze into esiyithunywa abantu. Inkatha ayizange ithunywe umuntu. Kanjalo ne-DA ayithunywe umuntu. Lokho ekwenzayo izenzele yona ngama-CV yabo nje lawa ababhalayo bengakaze baseve nanoma imuphi umzabalazo. So they cannot just come here and blame us because we are talking about ANC, because we have been sent by the African National Congress. Imithetho yase South Africa were designed of South Africa through ivoti labantu base South Africa. Ingakho senza imithetho enikezela abantu amathuba omsebenzi njengawo lo mthetho esiwuphasisayo. Lo mthetho enye izinto yenzayo uqeda lama license abaningi abangale abahleli ngale abawathola ngesikhathi sobandlululo bengathestwanga bavele bafike ku testing ground athi ngoba uhlala endaweni ethize esupportwa iqembu elithize avela athole ilicense. Abanye babo babehamba bayelapha eKaphahladira bothola ama license. Lawo ma license wa-checkisise asikwe noma ashiswe ngoba nawe wathola ngomgunyathi abanye benu sisazokulo ma license eninawo ngalapho okubalekile kukhongolose hlangana namakhosi. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi kubalekile kuthina njengabo
Honorable Dube, bengithi mina ngicela ningamgqumi uHonorable Dube. You may continue, Honorable Member.
It's provoking us.
Honorable Gola, are you raising a point? Oh, okay. You may continue, Honorable.
Ngiyabonga Somlomo, angithi ngumfundisi ngikhuluma amaqiniso. Manje iqiniso liyahlala, liyanwela.
Amaqiniso ayethogweni.
Opposition are commending us for the changes that we really appreciate. We really appreciate all the contributions that you are making, because you know that the contributions that you are making you are giving them to the right people. We are definitely going to excel in making sure that the people of KwaZulu-Natal are getting all the things that they deserve. Remember that the ANC has the contract with the people. Washo njalo uZizi uma esithulela inkulumo yakhe ezoba umphathi welizwe, asikakaguquki lapho njengokhongolose ukuthi siyohlala njalo siya kubantu siyozwa uvo lwabo, futhi senze isiqiniseko sokuthi ushintsho abazoba ilolu shintsho oluthandwa yithi njoba sihleli kulendlu. Angivale ngokuthi ke into eyajabulisa kakhulu futhi ukubona ama-driving schools eza ngobuningi bawo, ukubonisa ukuthi a-appreciate ancoma kakhulu ukuthi ama-driving school abantu abamnyama abe ama-driving schools abenganakekelwe kakhulu, kodwa namhlanje basithola beyingxenye yokuthi uhulumeni uma eze kubantu nabo bathole uvo lwabo bekwazi ukulibeka etafuleni. Mhlambe kangiphawule ngithi siyabonga nje KwaZulu-Natal asigqugquzele lokhu ukuthi abantu njengoba kuzoba isikhathi sikaKhisimusi umgaqo sewusebenzise ngokukhulu ukuhlonipha. Ukhongolose uyabathanda kakhulu abantu bakwaZulu-Natal, uyathanda futhi nokubavikela, ingakho nje kwakhiwa imithetho ezobavikela abantu bakwaZulu-Natal. Siyafisa ukuthi abantu abasebenzisa idakamizwa bangangeni emgaqweni ngalesikhathi esibhekene ngaso, noNkulunkulu ababusise nje abantu bakwaZulu-Natal. Thina ngikholwa ukuthi thina njengoba senza i-oversight yaka-transport senza konke okuyisiqiniseko sokuthi abantu baphephile, nemithetho futhi iqine ngokwanele ukuthi abantu bakithi KwaZulu-Natal baphephe. Siyabonga kakhulu kukhongolose ukusinikeza ithuba elibaluleke langaka lokuvikela impilo zabantu emgaqweni yakwaZulu-Natal. I want to end up by saying, as Gandhi has said, be the change that you want to see. Nathi sifuna ukuba yilolo guquko esilibonayo, ingakho okuphethe abantu bakwaZulu-Natal, okuncinza abantu bakwaZulu-Natal kusincinza nathi njengokhongolose. Siyabonga kakhulu Somlomo ithuba sinikeza lona njengokhongolose.
Thank you, Honorable. I was having a network connectivity issue. I was just put on hold. Thank you so much, honorable members. We have now come to the end of the debate on the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill, B7D 2020. The House now needs to confer a final and a voting mandate on the bill as per the request of the Transport Portfolio Committee. I now put the question to the House in terms of the rules of the sitting. The question is, the KwaZulu-Natal Legislature agrees to confer authority on one, the KZN provincial delegation to the NCOP to cast a vote in support of the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill B7D 2020 at the relevant NCOP Select Committee, and two, the head of the provincial delegation to the NCOP or a delegate designated by the head of the delegation to cast a vote in support of the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill B7D 2020 at the NCOP plenary. I will look for those in support of the mandate on the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill. As I said earlier on, going party by party, I will start with the Inkatha Freedom Party.
Honorable Speaker, the IFP supports the bill.
Thank you. We'll now call upon the TA.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Democratic Alliance supports the bill.
We'll go to the EFF.
Sibonga Somlomo, EFF, yes again.
We'll go to the NFP.
Honorable Speaker, the NFP supports.
MFACDP are still not in the, and ATM are still not in the House. We'll go to the ANC.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The ANC support the bill.
Members, I have the votes of all parties. Is there any member who wishes to express an individual vote that is different from their party or to abstain? Is there an individual member who wants to express a vote different from their party or to abstain? Seeing that there is none, Secretary, can I ask for the tally of the votes?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The votes are as follows. Votes in favor, 62. Votes against, nil. Abstentions, nil. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Honorable members, I therefore formally declare the result of the vote as follows. Votes in favor 6-2, against nil, abstentions nil. It is the ayes have it, and it is recorded that the mandate on the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill B70 2020 is supported, and that brings us to the end of the item on the order paper relating to the the mandate on the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill. We will now move on to the next item, which is the report by the chairperson of the Premier Portfolio Committee on the scrutiny of subordinate legislation bill. And I therefore call upon the Honorable CQ Madlopa, who's the chairperson on the Premier Portfolio Committee, to table the committee report on the scrutiny of subordinate legislation bill for 5 minutes. Honorable Madlopa.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as I indicated, can I request that I switch off the camera after I've shown my face because of the network system? I did write to the Honorable Speaker.
I did not see the writing, but I will allow you. But we acknowledge that we have been seeing your face a lot during the debate. You can switch it off for now.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Premier, Honorable Leader of Government Business, Honorable Members, this bill that we are tabling today falls within the competency of the Provincial Legislature, as it is in accordance with Section 140, subsection 3 and subsection 4 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa of 1996. As per the preamble to the bill, the bill was viewed to be a priority in this financial year, as it was a long-standing project and as such had to be initiated within the 2023-24 financial year and had to be finalized before the end of the sixth administration. The bill seeks to provide for the scrutiny of draft provincial subordinate legislation by the KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Legislature. It aims to provide for the publication and tabling of the provincial subordinate legislation and the consequences of non-compliance, to provide for the establishment of the Standing Committee of the Provincial Legislature responsible for scrutiny of subordinate legislation, to provide for the scrutiny, approval of the disapproval of the provincial subordinate legislation by the legislature through such standing committee, and also to provide for the compilation and publication of an index of subordinate legislation, and to provide for the matters connected therewith. The method that we have followed as a committee, we have complied with Rule 217 in that the bill, its translation is in isiZulu and the Afrikaans and certification thereof from Hansard and Language Services. The legal advisor's certificate and the treasury certificate commenting on the financial implication of the bill were attached when the Portfolio Committee tabled its Rule 154 report on the 21st of April 2023. The Secretary of the Legislature thereafter published the bill in terms of the Rule 218 for the public comments for a period of 15 days in the Provincial Gazette number 2540 on the 11th of May 2023. The Provincial further published an advert in the newspaper requesting for the submission of the bill in technical and administrative in nature, and specifically invited the provincial departments and the Office of the Public Service Commission to submit their written comments, as there are relevant stakeholders that are directly affected by the bill in terms of Rule 221, subsection 2. Only 6 departments plus the Public Service Commission gave written comments in support of the bill as it is envisaged by the Section 140, subsection 3 and subsection 4 of the Constitution. The committee noted the poor response to the call for the public comments and acknowledges that the nature of the bill could not have drawn much interest. The proposed comments from the departments were considered and effected in the bill as tabled and debated today, Honorable Speaker. The committee confirms that all requirements of the standing rules have been met for the bill to be tabled in the House. Furthermore, it is satisfied that in its consultation processes assisted in enhancing the bill and ensuring that the legislature is in compliance with the provisions of Section 140, subsection 3 and 4 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, by ensuring that the legislature conducts oversight over relevant subordinate legislation. The committee unanimously supports the bill. The committee highly appreciates the contribution made by the Public Service Commission and the provincial government, who made the submissions in both rounds of consultation. The committee hereby tabled this report, the final bill and its explanatory memorandum as agreed on, and its amended translation in terms of Rule 2231, and recommends that the KwaZulu Scrutiny of Subordinate Legislation Bill be supported by this august House, Honorable Speaker. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. We'll now call upon members to participate in the debate. And the first one is the Honorable Z.L.I. Cele for 7 minutes on behalf of the ANC. Unmute phela Magai.
My apologies, Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Ms. Wemvula, Honorable Premier, Sis Kamgile, Leader of Government Business and the Chairperson of the African National Congress in the province, Mtombeni, Chief Whip and the Deputy Chief Whip, members of the Executive, Honorable members of this august House, Sanbonan. I would like to commence my debate by thanking my organization, Ingolema Sondo Sondo, the African National Congress, for offering me this opportunity to take part in this debate. Today marks the 4th day that Israel and Hamas began a ceasefire in Gaza. We hope this will bring a lasting peace in this country. We would like to thank the members of Parliament of the African National Congress and other parties who voted to close down the Israel embassy in Parliament last week. Also thank the ANC-led government under President Cyril Ramaphosa for recalling our ambassador from the apartheid Israel. Congratulate the ANC-led government for bringing charges of war crimes to the ICC against the evil, bloodthirsty Benjamin Netanyahu. We demand that humanitarian aid be allowed in Gaza. The DA must also be reminded that the Western Cape is not a country within South Africa. They are a province which is within a country which is led by the ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa. They must stop to brutalize the pro-Palestinian protesters. They must allow free speech and demonstrations, as these are the hard-earned democratic gains protected by the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. In any case, there's nothing democratic within the racist DA. Now they have shown their true colors. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the Constitutional and Parliamentary Legal Service Directorate was tasked by the drafting of the committee bill on the scrutiny of subordinate legislation, as per the Speaker's budget speech, Mahubela, of 2021-22, which was translated to the 2021-22 annual plan and the Legislative Directorate operational plan as a standing project to be finalized before the 6th term of the legislature. The Standing Rule 213.1 provides that any bill falling within the legislative power of the legislature set out in Section 104 of 1 of the Constitution may be introduced in the legislature in terms of Section 119 of the Constitution. The bill falls within the competency of the provincial legislature as it is in accordance with Section 140 of 3 and 4 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. In 1996, as per the preamble of the bill, the bill was viewed to be a priority in this financial year, as it was a long-standing project and as such had to be initiated within the 2022-23 financial year and had to be finalized before the end of the 6th administration. Honorable members, Essentially, the bill seeks to establish a standing committee of the provincial legislature to oversee the scrutiny of subordinate legislation, to provide for the approval and disapproval of provincial subordinate legislation by the legislature through said standing committee, to compile and publish an index of subordinate legislation and to address matters related thereto, to provide for the KwaZulu-Natal provincial legislature to scrutinize, develop provincial subordinate legislation, to publish and tabulate provincial subordinate legislation and the consequence of non-compliance. Simultaneously, Section 140 of 3 of the Constitution requires that instruments of subordinate legislation in the province be accessible to members of the public. And whereas Section 140 of 4 of the Constitution invites the KwaZulu-Natal legislature to enact legislation regarding the way in which and the extent to which subordinate legislation must be tabled and approved by the legislature. Honorable members, the most important aspect of the amendment bill is Clause 4 and 5. These specifically speaks to which Clause 4 lists certain standards against which draft subordinate legislation must be assessed and deals with procedural matters in respect to the decision-making of committees. Clause 5 addresses the consequence of approval and disapproval of draft subordinate legislation. In conclusion, the bill aims to advance the cause of better administration, and consequently, this new subordinate legislation would undoubtedly result in a significant change, considering that we are the torchbearers in enacting this bill nationwide. And in the wake of Gauteng province, as it is the only legislature in South Africa that has established a permanent system to monitor delegated legislation, and in Gauteng provincial legislature. Therefore, it is crucial that the House support and approves the bill, because it will bring us in compliance with Section 40 of the South African Constitution, which is our constitutional mandate. The African National Congress unequivocally support the scrutiny of subordinate legislation bill. I thank you.
Makaye, phezu kwabo, phezu kwe-DA.
The next member for 5 minutes is the Honorable MB Gwala, the leader of the official opposition.
Our leader of the people.
Honorable Speaker and honorable members, subordinate legislation is also often referred to as delegated legislation because the power to make subordinate legislation is delegated by the Enabling Act. The KZN Scrutiny of Subordinate Legislation Bill 2023 seeks to provide for the scrutiny of draft provincial subordinate legislation by the KwaZulu-Natal provincial legislature, to provide for the establishment of a standing committee of the provincial legislature responsible for scrutiny of subordinate legislation, etc. I'm conscious that, unlike many speakers today, I'm not a constitutional expert, nor am I a lawyer. That said, what I do know is that although much of what we are talking about may sound abstract, this debate about the power of legislature versus the executive and the processes that underpin our democracy has a direct impact on all our lives. If those processes that underpin scrutiny and accountability are not cherished and nurtured, and the executive are allowed to chip away at them, the freedoms that we all take for granted risk being eroded. This bill is long overdue, as it was first announced in the Speaker's speech of 2021-22, which was translated to the 21-22 annual plan, and Gauteng has been the only province which has amended such act. It has been stated that the provincial legislature must, with effect from the date of the coming into operation of this act, establish a standing committee to be known as the Standing Committee for the Scrutiny of Subordinate Legislation. Legislature scrutiny is a good thing. It is, in fact, the raison d'etre of this House. Honorable Speaker, There are several principal and pragmatic reasons for ensuring delegated legislation can be subjected to adequate legislature scrutiny. Chief among these reasons is that legislature scrutiny confers greater legitimacy on laws. The legislature scrutiny can thus prevent delegation of power becoming a complete abdication of power. Such scrutiny must also have practical benefits, highlighting deficiencies in either the policy content or the technical drafting of executive proposal. The IFP support the establishment of the committee, but it has the following questions. 1, when will the committee be established? 2, what selection procedure will be used to select those who will be appointed as members of the committee? 3, when will the committee cease to exist? In this country, laws which affect people's life are increasingly being made through delegated powers, secondary legislation, and regulation which do not require legislature scrutiny that voters expect. We have seen this during emergencies when responding to urgent situations. Government and departments are under pressure to produce results. Some quote unquote, something must be done and done quickly mentality affects all departments. Departments are tempted to give themselves wide powers to cover all sorts of potential problems. We are always told the same thing. We need to get this done quickly and trust us. We will not abuse the power. Repeatedly, we have seen things made only a couple of days or sometimes even hours before they come into force. This may have been unavoidable at the height of the emergency. Typically, the legislature will demand greater scrutiny over the exercise of far-reaching powers or those making changes in sensitive areas of policy. The IFP fully endorses the excellence recommendations made and very much hope that fair-minded members on all sides of the House will agree that is one way forward. We need a fundamental reset in the culture of both the executive and senior officials who should in fact be gatekeepers of democracy. The IFP support it. Kunembuzi lapha ekhaya umfowethu igama layo njalo kuthiwa ukhongolose.
The next speaker for 4 minutes is the Honorable on behalf of the DA. Honorable
Thank you. Good morning, Honorable Speaker, fellow honorable members, ladies and gentlemen. The scrutiny of Subordinate Legislation Bill 2023 ensures that any provincial functionary that tables a bill meets the necessary requirements to do so, and that if done correctly, will not take years to come before this House. It is important to note that as per the definitions of the bill, a provincial functionary is the Premier, a member of the Executive Council, the Speaker, or a statutory body established by provincial legislation. To enact this bill, a standing committee of the Legislature would need to be established. Their responsibility in the main would be to scrutinize and assess the draft bill before it and ensure it meets the following standards and/or requirements. 1, that it is consistent with the Constitution. 2, that it is authorized by the empowering act under which it is to be made. 3, that it complies with any condition set out in that act. 4, that it does not constitute an unreasonable exercise of the power under which it is to be made. 5, that it raises or spends revenue not authorized by that act. 6, that it is vague or ambiguous. 7, that it has retrospective effect without express authority granted by that act. And finally, that it does not fulfill formal drafting requirements. The Democratic Alliance is satisfied that all bills from provincial functionaries require a certificate under the signature of either a state lawyer or provincial legal advisor in the legislature depending obviously on who the functionary is. At the end of the day, all bills will need to come before this House for final adoption. And if the Standing Committee fulfills its functions as it is prescribed in this bill, then legislation won't, or at least should not, take years to come before this House, which will speed up processes for the legislature to ultimately work more effectively. As a matter of interest, this bill was brought to the office of the Premier by the Speaker, Honourable Boyce, who is part of the Speakers Forum, and it is my understanding that all speakers across South Africa are to put forward such a bill. KwaZulu-Natal today, if the House so agrees, will be the second province to adopt such a bill. I truly hope that the benefits of this bill are seen in the very near future. I thank you.
The next member for 3 minutes on behalf of the EFF is the Honorable M.W. Twala. Honorable Twala. Honorable Twala. Seems like Honorable Twala is not in the house. And there was no apology. We will now go to the next member, Honorable Imani Kalok. Honorable C.M. Shinga on behalf of the NFP for 1 minute. Honorable Shinga, is she still here? Oh, okay. Honorable Shinga is not here, and we will go to Honorable Esther Kurrajbanzo. MF is not here, ATM is not here, and ACDP is not here. We'll now go to Honorable T.S. Mjali for 7 minutes on behalf of the ANC.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Premier, entire executive, Honorable Duma, the chairperson of the African National Congress, please receive my greetings. Allow me, Speaker, to start by quoting President Cyril Ramaphosa, and he said, and I quote, "We are going to seek to improve the lives of our people on an ongoing basis. And since 1994, we have done precisely that," close quote. This is profound, Honorable Speaker, because it shows the commitment of the ANC in understanding that we're a government of the people, for the people, by the people. As we remain committed to work for the people, even in any process that the legislature or national parliament undertake. It ought to serve the people and to be in the interest of the people. We care less about those that lead an organization that is dominated by self-preserved and know nothing about the people. So that is why you'll hear them howling even when you speak, instead of learning from the African National Congress, as I fully think that they should be doing in these entire years. But we'll continue to teach the likes of Honorable Msimang about the importance of the people as an African National Congress. This bill that we are speaking about, Honorable Speaker, we had also looked into how it has been implemented in the Gauteng Legislature, which is amongst the province who have implemented it. What was notable, Honorable Speaker, which was also raised by the Gauteng Legislature, now listen carefully, Honorable Msimang. It speaks about the popularizing of the committee and the creating of focused awareness campaigns. It deals with the issue of improving the integrated working relations with other portfolio committees. So each committee that will be raising certain things that they want to be scrutinized, it make it easier if we have an interrelations with different committees that are existing within the legislature. It also speaks about the importance to table draft the regulations to the legislature timelessly in order to allow a sufficient time for the processing so that we are able to allow them to reflect on it and have an impact on it as well. But moreover, Honorable Speaker, what was notable is how it suggests the inclusion of a section on the socio-economic impact of regulations on the people of Gauteng in particular, which in this case we would say that the socio-economic impact with regards to the regulation on the people of KwaZulu-Natal. This goes a long way because we'll remember that the liberation of our people, first and foremost, it was to liberate them from apartheid. The second part of it was to liberate them to get economic freedom, because we understood that freedom alone, it is meaningless without economic freedom. So it is important that as we balance all of this, we also take into consideration the socio-economic impact with regards to whatever that we are persuading as the legislature of KwaZulu-Natal. It is on this basis that the African National Congress does support it, and we hope that all other parties will also support it. I submit, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. We'll now call upon the Honorable Sithu Madlopa, the chairperson of the Premier Portfolio, to respond to the debate in 5 minutes. Honorable Madlopa.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Madlopa.
Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
Thanks, Honorable Speaker. I wish to take this opportunity, Honorable Speaker, to thank all the members that have debated in this bill, all the parties. And ngibonge kakhulu ukuthi ama-parties since umuntu waqala ukuba la kwikomiti lakwa-Premier, the way esisebenzisana ngayo iyancomeka kakhulu. Ayikho indlela yokuthi singasupportani makufanele ukuthi sisupportane, but also to thank ama-opposition parties ukuthi they are using what the African National Congress created in this country, i-issue ye-democracy. They do raise izinto abacabanga ukuthi azihambi kahle. After being explained, they support whatever we are coming up with. Siyabonga kakhulu, siyafisa nje ukuthi noma ithemu yethu sizophela, sikwazi ukuthi siqhubeke sibambisane kukho konke mangabe sisekomitini noma sesiphumele ngaphandle, kungabibikho ukuthi bese siyashintsha masiphumela ngaphandle ngoba cha besisebenza kahle kakhulu. Omunye nje waqale uJesu waseshowe siwazoba uJesu wase-Afrika ngenxa yokusebenzisana kahle. Sisho umkhaya ke lapho umphephethe. Siyabonga kakhulu ama-contributions. I know that umphephethe is raising ama-questions ukuthi when is it going to be implemented and so on. I think from here, if this house ivuma le bill izobe siya kundunankulu, mayiseyisayinile kundunankulu, it's when we'll start the process ukuthi iyaqala ke iya-implementwa mangabe naye ekwazile ukuthi afake isigxivizo sokuthi asiqhubeke nawo njengoba senzile as different political parties. Siyabonga ke mphephethe ukuthi ubuza leyo mbuzo ngoba this is very important for us ukuthi we must start implementing this scrutiny legislation bill ngokusheshsha ngoba izokwazi ukuthi ivimbe ukuthi kungabibikho umthetho eshawayo that will contradict i-constitution, kungabibikho subordinate legislation ezoba khona ukuthi sesi-implementa ithola ukuthi ayikwazanga ukuthi scrutinizwe ibukwe kahle ukuthi iyamitha wonke inama-requirements okufanele ukuthi enziwe awe-constitution kanye neminye imithetho ekhona. Ngiyafisa kakhulu ukubonga urapper, Honorable Rapper. Thank you very much. I think your contribution also is worthy in this particular debate. Ngifisa ke ukubonga uMagaye nge-contribution yakhe, ikakhulukazi ethinta abantu base-Palestine. Ngicabanga ukuthi Magaye, we all concur with you that our government as led by a humanitarian and peace-loving organization, u-African National Congress, iyadinga ukuthi iqhwatshelwe ihlombe for i-intervention eyenzile kubulawa abantu abangenacala ePalestine, kubulawa nezingane nabesifazane abakhona. It did not look aside but ibhekane nayo ngqo ukuthi ingenelele ukuthi eGaza iba khona ipeace, ePalestine iba khona ipeace. Siyafisa ke ukusho ukuthi simeme wonke amanye ama-parties ukuthi they must support this initiative of humanitarian nale initiative ye-peace eqalwa ugovernment wethu led by the African National Congress. Siyabonga kakhulu Magaye ukusikhumbuza ukuthi nathi sivela lapho khona esasizwa ngamanye ama-countries lapho khona sasicindezelwe uhulumeni wobandlululo, okufanele nathi njengoba thina siyi-peace loving organization sikwazi ukwenza kuwo wonke amazwe ahlaselwayo njengoba kwenzeka eGaza yilama Zionist akhona lapha eGaza. Siyabonga kakhulu Ndosi. Siyafisa ke ukusho ukuthi Somlomo siyafisa kakhulu ukubonga because it started by you le bill, and you were always advising us, you were always calling us ukuthi in particular as a chair to say this particular bill is very important, we need to fast track it. We thank your guidance, Honorable Speaker. Siyanibonga sonke u-African National Congress uyanibonga. Siyabonga.
Yeah. Honorable members, thank you. Thank you. We have now come to the end of the debate on the KwaZulu-Natal Scrutiny of Subordinate Legislation Bill. The House now needs to vote on the bill as per the recommendations of the Premier Portfolio Committee. I now put the question to the House as follows. The Premier's Portfolio Committee recommends that this House supports and approves the KwaZulu-Natal Scrutiny of Subordinate Legislation Bill 2023. As I indicated prior to the start, I will now go party by party to obtain a vote, and thereafter take if any member wishes to record an individual vote. I will start with IFP.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The IFP Inkatha Freedom Party supports the bill.
The DA.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Democratic Alliance supports the bill.
The EFF. Is EFF in the House?
Abekho.
Is EFF here? I am told that there is no member of the EFF in the House. The NFP. Oh, there is Honorable Mtali. That's how we will know that you are here. You can't just be silent when we are calling you. We called you for the debate. You were also silent, yet you are in the House. Now, how do you vote on the bill? EFF?
We support Somlomo.
NFP, Honorable Shinga is not in the House. MF not in the House. ACDP not in the House. ATM not in the House. The African National Congress.
Full House.
Thank you very much, Speaker. The ANC supports the bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Party Whips. Now, members, I have the votes of all parties. Is there any member who wishes to express an individual vote that is different from their party vote or to abstain? Is there any member? If there is none, Secretary, can I kindly ask for the tally of the vote?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The voting results are as follows. Votes in favor, 55. Votes against, nil. Abstentions, nil.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Honorable members, I therefore formally declare the result of the vote as follows. Votes in favor, 55. Votes against, nil. And abstentions, nil. The ayes have it. That concludes voting in approval of the KwaZulu-Natal Scrutiny of Subordinate Legislation Bill 2023. And that brings to the end the item on the order paper concerning the passing of the KwaZulu-Natal Subordinate Legislation Bill 2023. Now, I will ask for the Secretary to read the bill to the record. Secretary? Secretary.
Madam Speaker, yes, if you'll just give me a moment, I just want to pick up the station. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Madam Speaker, I'm just having some challenges with this computer.
Secretary, read the bill to the record, please.
Sorry, Madam Speaker, I'm just trying, I can't open it. Mr. Mimela, are you able to read it, please?
Order, honorable members. Order, honorable members.
KwaZulu-Natal Scrutiny of Subordinate Legislation Bill. Thank you. 23. Thank you.
Honorable members, I must profusely apologize. I do not know what has gone on with the senior management of this institution. We sincerely apologize for these mishaps. Honorable members, when we look at the order paper, that was the last item that we had on the order paper, but we will make a reminder for the civic education that will be taking place tomorrow. Honorable members are reminded of the civic education taking tomorrow. And with that said, honorable members, the sitting is adjourned until the 30th of November at 9 o'clock.
Honourable Speaker. Speaker. Honourable Speaker.
Who's that calling the speaker after the sitting has been adjourned?
Honourable Msimang.
Honorable Msimango, I will ask your whip to let you know that the sitting is adjourned. If you want to speak to the speaker, you will speak to the speaker on the side. Honorable Mtetwa, do attend to such things. The sitting is
rules of the
adjourned.
house. Rules of the house.
The sitting is adjourned.
The sitting is adjourned. The sitting is adjourned. Complies. Thank you, Speaker. We have complied once again.
Order, Madam Speaker.
The comply nama bills.
Into Speaker mase Valley House ebesafuna ukukhuluma athi order. Nama-rules njalo lawazi. Sokuphendula thina Msimanga sikusazi.
So kuyaliwa nesisikele base kuliwa.
Bhalela uWhatsApp Speaker.
Sohlakana emnyango.
Asesexoxela thina ke sengivaliwe kube
Finish-ke leya Msimanga namhlanje.
Wena Msimanga wegwala ukuhlukane nezimpi mhlonishwa.
Hawu kanti na ukhona Nkosi.
Wena Msimanga
Awuphinde futhi.
Usebenzile Msimanga kade soze sibone ngani ukuthi onkosi bakhona.
Yena.
Wemsimanga.
Hayi kodwa umsimanga ungezekile. Ungezekile umsimanga umesho ukuthi kanti ulona uphethe amaqinisa kwaSathane.
Hey, Honorable Petros is out of order.
Aphethe amaqinisa kwaSathane phephethe. Wamfunani Msimanga.
Honorable Petros, you are out of order. Phela uSimon Petro lo Msimanga uyabona.
Andana amaqinisa kaSathane.
Wapi kuJesu Simon Petro. Wathi akamazi nangu umsimangi namhlanje.
Hawu. Amaqinisa kaSathane.
Petro Dube.
Hayi bengawazi nami kodwa hayi umsimanga hayi ugezekile.
Ukontabele.
Hayi kodwa beqinisile ngoba akuyizwa mina umfundisi ukuthi ubephuzeni namhlanje noma iwayini ulithathe ngamawala ngoba ekuseni vele wagibela kithi nje ngangazi ukuthi kwenze njani.
Kumele ngidebate niba ngumsindo. Bengenze
udlumthendeleke wazoweqa.
Sohlangana ngolesine.
Lezo lesine. Hayi impilo songo ke kuthiwa yilwi vele.
Oh ayilwi.
Athi impilo songo hayi ayilwi hlobo.
Ukukhonjwana ngemino nje.
Ufica umuntu lokho efini ilokuzana imkhono ivele kuyimkhono emfishane kuyilo i-short sleeve kodwa afuna ukuyifinqa futhi.
Awu phephethe. Awu siyabonga bamember.
Kulungile futhi. Kulungile mfundisi siyabonga.
Asambe mphephethe yiukhongoloso nje lona mfowethu. Hey ukhongoloso uphatha ukhongoloso hayi ngeke.
Hayi Msimanga sobonana ngolesine mnganami.
Hayi kodwa uyihlahlile indlela mhlonishwa umsimanga ukuthi hayi amaqinisa kwaSathane.
you.